taking a look at a Ruger Genuine product. I picked this up on shopruger.com. It is the 18.5-inch threaded barrel, catalog number KBBL 1022T-18. In this video, I'm going to show you what the barrel looks like and install it on my Ruger 1022. So let's go ahead and get to the packaging here. Got your barrel, got your instructions. I actually give you some decent instructions in showing you how to disassemble your Ruger 1022 and pull your barrel and install the new one. Set the packaging off to the side. Alright, so this is the new barrel. Let me show you the 1022 I want to put it on. So I've got this 1022 here, but I want to use my suppressor. This is a Silencer Co. Sparrow. And this is a used barrel, and it's one of the older style. You can see that it's got, zoom in here, one of the older style sights, and I actually kind of like these better. They have two screws holding the blade in place to adjust your elevation. And it's just got a little more like paint in the hash marks and all of that. I think it looks nicer. I think it's built better. And on the new barrel, it's got the new style. Less paint, one screw. I have seen one of the new sights with just the single screw in it. The screw broke and I couldn't get the screw out. I didn't break the screw. I bought the gun used that way. Thought I can just replace that screw. Not so much. You gotta replace the whole sight. So I'll give it a try and see if I can connect better with the new sight or with the old sight. I have a brand new old style sight that I ordered from shopruger.com just in case I didn't like this new style. But let's go ahead and pull this barrel and then we can compare the two, apples to apples, right next to each other. So let me set this over here. Let's verify that the firearm is clear of ammunition, so there's nothing in the magazine. Visually inspect that there's nothing in the chamber. Handling a safe firearm, so let's go ahead and begin. Start by removing my barrel band. Remove my takedown screw. Placing my safety halfway between safe and fire. And remove the stock from the barreled action. Alright, so you'll need a 5/32 Allen wrench to break them loose. Break your V-block screws loose. And then I like using a 5/32 ball driver to remove your V-block screws completely, so you don't have to reposition that wrench every third of a turn. Alright, so talking about the similarities and differences between these two barrels. They're both Ruger factory barrels. They both have iron sights. They're both tapered and they're both stainless. Now you can pick up a brand new takeoff stainless barrel on eBay anywhere from like $50 to $70 is about the going rate. Sometimes you'll find a deal and you'll get it a little under $50, but generally that's going to be a used barrel. Not that that's a horrible thing, but if you want a brand new barrel, I've seen them range between 50 and 70, sometimes a little more. This threaded barrel set me back $229.95 on shopruger.com. And this past summer, they were out of stock on them. They've recently come back into stock, and I really like the Ruger 1022 factory iron sights. I like having the sights that close to the bore, and I really like having my sights really close to the bore of the barrel. So I really wanted to get a tapered barrel, but have it threaded and be able to use my suppressor. I have to say, I am a little disappointed with the quality of this barrel. When you can pick this barrel up for a quarter of the price of this barrel, I would have thought that everything on this barrel would be over the top better than the original factory barrel. The original factory barrel has a very smooth, polished finish to it. And this one here, you can just feel a lot of very fine ridges from where they turned it on the machining process. So I kind of feel like the polished job on the factory barrel, the factory threadless barrel, is better than on the factory threaded barrel. And there again, you can see that it's got a nice polished finish on that front sight base there. And then when you compare it to this one, it's just not polished at all. I mean, it is very dull, and you could see the lines going this way. The finish of it is not as nice. Let's see if I can compare them together here. You can just see that the finish just is not as nice on the more expensive threaded barrel than it is on the standard tapered barrel. Now everything else, I mean, like, is practically similar, with the exception of the threading on the barrel here. So it's threaded 1/2 by 28. The threading is 3/8 of an inch long, and it comes with a knurled thread protector. Let's see here if we can compare the length. So you can see that I have them lined up exactly side by side, and you can see that the front of the collar here is in the same place on the barrel. It just doesn't have this front crown section. It has the additional section here for the threading. So this barrel, the threaded barrel, is a little longer than the 18.5 inch barrel. Looks like it's 18 13/16. So that's the differences in dimensions. Alright, unfortunately I'm not going to be installing this barrel onto my 1022. I went to put the thread protector back on it, and it felt like it was like cross-threading. It felt like it was having a hard time getting started, and you know, I've done plenty with 1/2 by 28 threading to be pretty familiar. I mean, I'm not a newbie at threading on a thread protector, a suppressor, a flash hider, so on and so forth. I know what it's supposed to feel like, and so I started looking into this here. Let me get you in a little closer and zoom in, show you what I saw. You can see that there's some imperfections here in the threading. Almost looks like there's a flat spot on these first couple threads here, and then as you roll it over, that starts getting wavy, and then it curls over really bad. And that's right out of the package. I mean, I could see if I would have dropped it, boogered up the threads, then okay, but you know, I did not drop this. This is straight out of the package this way. You got that big old curl there in the front, and then you got what seems like a flat spot. Is it blunted, or is it just, I'm not sure how that happened there. Or the curl, I mean, like, I can understand if it was curling in like it was dropped on its tip, That would make some sense to me, how that happened, but I'm not even sure how you get the thread to curl upward like that without having any other impact anywhere else. But anyway, I will be returning this. Hopefully that's going to be an uneventful process and they're not going to try and mess around with me saying, oh, you must have dropped it, or why'd you wait a day or two to contact us about this, or whatever. I mean, anyway, it's a big world out there, and we're bound to run into a shady situation. Until then, keep your gear on you.
Well, this is unforgivable. In fact, you suck. I'll be in my room.